All right, the Senate kicking off the so-called vote-a-rama at 9 a.m. Eastern time this morning after debating the 940-page Big Beautiful Bill over the weekend. If it passes, the House may vote as early as Wednesday, just 2 days before that self-imposed July 4th deadline. This version of the bill would make the 2017 tax cuts permanent, reduce taxes on tips and overtime, increase border security funding, and cut green energy tax credits passed during the Biden administration. GOP also reaching a tentative $40,000 deal on the SALT deduction. 2 Republican senators voted against advancing the bill on Saturday: North Carolina Senator Thom Tillis and Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. Tillis then announcing he would not be seeking re-election, while the president hailed it as a piece of great news on Truth Social. Joining me now is North Carolina Congressman Tim Moore. He's a member of the House Financial Services and Budget Committees. Congressman, I want to get your reaction first to Thom Tillis saying he's not going to run for re-election. Did Senator Tillis just decide not to run because it got into a little bit of a tiff on Truth Social, on social media with President Trump, or is there more at play here, sir?
Well, I'm very close friends with Senator Tillis. In fact, he was the Speaker of our state House for 4 years, and then when he went to the U.S. Senate, I became the Speaker of our state House for 10 years before becoming a member of the U.S. Congress. And I can tell you, Tom's a great friend, and while we don't always agree, I will tell you, he always stands on principle. And I believe him for what he said in his release, that the time had come for him, that he believes that he's accomplished a lot for North Carolina and for the United States, and he's decided now to move on and spend time with his family. I do think the blow-up was unfortunate, and I know that Senator Tillis, we have talks among our delegation, had some concerns with the Senate plan with respect to the One Big Beautiful Bill. And actually preferred the House version, which I prefer. But at the end of the day, I, like so many, I'm going to vote for it because I'm going to stand with our president. And I believe that this bill is going to do so much for America, both in terms of the tax relief, but also in terms of the investment in border security, national defense, and so forth. So I certainly respect my good friend Tom, and I'm going to be wishing him well. But he also has, 18 months left as a member of the U.S. Senate for our state, and I know he's going to take that job seriously like he always does.
Well, you mentioned that you and Senator Tillis are on lockstep in many things that matter to the people of North Carolina. Did you agree with some of his reservations about the Big Beautiful Bill that led him to vote no?
I think some of the concerns are valid. At the end of the day, though, I think we're going to be able to work through that. One of the big issues that Senator Tillis raised had to do with some of the Medicaid adjustments that are in there. But our legislative leaders who are in charge of the North Carolina legislature now have issued public statements stating that they believe that the state will be able to adjust their spending priorities and take care of those issues. So I feel good knowing that. And I believe at the end of the day, look, the thing about this bill is it's trying to correct decades of mismanagement by Washington, of overtaxing, overspending, wasteful spending. And this is the first really significant effort that anyone can really think of to finally rein this in, to get that curve going in the right direction of addressing out of control spending and addressing our national debt. So again, I agree with Senator Tillis that the House version is better than the current Senate version, but there's a process we go through, and at the end of the day, this bill is going to pass. It's going to be signed into law, and it's going to be that kickstart to really move this economy forward like it's never been before.
Well, look, the Senate version does have $1.7 trillion in cuts, but it spends more than the House version, to your point. Let me get your take on something else here, sir. President Trump said that he would consider bombing Iran again if Tehran keeps enriching uranium to concerning levels. He's also looking to prosecute those who leaked the Iran intelligence report on Operation Midnight Hammer. Here's what he told Maria on Sunday Morning Futures.
You tweeted the Democrats leaked an intelligence.
They should be prosecuted.
Who specifically? Do we know who did it? Would you be able to find out?
They could find out. If they wanted, they could find out easily. You go up and tell the reporter, national security, who gave it. You have to do that. And I suspect we'll be doing things like that.
Congressman, your reaction to that?
The president's right. When members of Congress receive classified briefings they are classified for a reason. Those are there to protect the national security of our nation. And when someone betrays that, I mean, that can be considered treason in that case because you're assisting the enemy. And so that's why there's a process to go through. That's why the things are classified in the first place. And so it's, I tell you, I found that, Washington, D.C. has more leaks than a 16th century boat. It's a real problem. It happens in political things in our conference, and that's unfortunate. But when it happens, when it comes to something like national defense, that has really significant consequences. So I support the president on that, and I also support the president on continuing to take a tough stand when it comes to Iran. Look, we have not, that I can think of, we've not been more respected internationally than we are right now under President Trump. We've had previous presidents, both administrations, who would talk big and then not deliver. President Trump has shown that he will talk strong, but he will back it up in action, whether it's dealing with rogue nations, with terrorists, as well as on the trade policy. In your earlier segment, you talked about how Canada now is finally going to drop some of their taxes. International leaders know this president means business, and I think as a result of that, peace through strength is a real thing, and America is going to be stronger. But we cannot have folks who are supposed to be on the, who are supposed to be representing our nation, some of these, whoever it was members of Congress who it was, out releasing state secrets and violating that. So I support the president, whatever they need to do to deal with that.
Well, we will see where that investigation goes. Congressman Tim Moore. Congressman, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.